All right, here's my top 10 mobility drills for the lumbar spine or lower back. First one is essentially just a low back mobilization. You're going to lay on your back, palms down, arms out to the side. You're just going to drop your knees from side to side. Make sure you're breathing as you do this. Relax. Keep your head relaxed on the ground. If you need a pillow to prop your head with, do that. Make sure and breathe. Next one is kind of like a tail wag. You're gonna go on your hands and knees, and you're just gonna essentially rotate your hips by swinging your legs back and forth and kind of pivoting on your knees. And again, you wanna think like you're wagging your tail or wagging your butt. So you're gonna let your lower back and pelvis kind of move freely from side to side. Okay, the next one is cat-cow. What you're going to do on your hands and knees, you're going to essentially arch your back like a cat. You're going to round your back up. You're going to squeeze your butt, tighten your core. Then you're going to go the opposite way. You're going to essentially extend your spine. So here you're going to round up. Here you're going to extend, flatten it out. So you're going to arch and round. Here you're going to flatten and extend through the spine. Again, make sure you exhale as you come up, inhale as you go down. Flexing through the lower back. Try just to move the mid to lower back at the tailbone. Again, squeeze your butt, breathe. Exhale as you squeeze. Inhale as you come out of it. Okay, next one is essentially a combination of the other two. You're going to get into like a one of the cat-cow positions. This one you're out arched and rounded, and then you're going to wag your tail. Again, you're going to go from side to side, just trying to move through your lower back, keeping your back nice and rounded up, nice and high, and breathe. And you'll essentially go to one side 10 times, and you'll hold that for a few seconds, then you'll switch and push your tailbone or your pelvis towards the other side. Again, you're maintaining a rounded back and you're breathing as you do this. Then you're going to go into the opposite position. You're going to flatten out the back or kind of curve the spine into like a hyperextension. And same thing, you're going to wag your tail and kind of crunch to one side, open up the rib cage on the other. Make sure you breathe as you do this. You do about 10 and then you'll switch sides. So here I'm kind of crunching over to one side and opening up the opposite side by wagging my tail, moving my shoulders, to one side. Again, opening up more from the mid to lower back. Okay, this one is a spinal wave. You're going to start in child's pose. You're going to scoop your head through your hands and go into like a cobra. Drop down, push your hips back, push your head back through your hands. And then repeat. So you're going to come up right here. You're going to exhale, pull the shoulders down, flatten the feet, squeeze the butt, drop the chest down, push the butt back in the air, push back through the arms, and breathe. So here we're going through that, again, the spinal wave where you're arching and rounding the back. We're going into flat back up to like a spinal extension. Then you're going to drop down, flat back, and go into spinal flexion, rounding the back. Make sure you breathe through this. Don't force any of the positions. If there's any pain, back off. If you feel pinch in your back, slow the movement down or go lower. Now here you're going to take that same beginning position, which is essentially a child's pose, and you're going to do like a clock motion. You're going to walk your hands slowly from side to side, staying in that rounded or flexed position in the spine. Butt is on the heels. Make sure you're breathing through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe from your belly. And again, just walk your hands back and forth from side to side. Don't force any of the positions. Make sure you're comfortable and there's no pain involved. Okay, now here's essentially a scorpion. So what you do is you lay on your stomach, palms out to your side, hands out to your side, palms are flat, and then you're going to rotate your hips from side to side, kicking one leg over. You're going to touch the toes of the foot on the ground on the other side of the leg. Again, working through the lower back, lower lumbar spine. You will get a little twist in the mid-back, but you're going to keep the palms flat and kind of work through the lower back, pelvis area, shifting from this side to side. Make sure you breathe as you reach your foot over. Do not force the position. And here you're just going to sit cross-legged, and you're going to take a few breaths. You're going to ease into this position, and then you're going to do that kind of clock traveling motion where what you'll do is after you take a few deep breaths and kind of lower down, you're going to relax there, feel your hips open up. And then from here, you're going to just essentially start walking your hands, again, in that clock motion from side to side. You're going to walk around, go over one knee, stay as low as you can. If this is uncomfortable, you can prop your knees up with, some blocks or towels or something. But again, you want to breathe into the motion, go very slowly, go back and forth from side to side. Don't force any of these positions. If something feels tight or painful, back off a little bit. Again, remember to breathe. This next one is essentially a Jefferson curl, just a little modified. You're on flat ground, you're not using a weight. Typically you would be elevated up on a box or a platform and you'd use a weight to do this, but if you're not experienced with that, this is a great place to start. Again, we're working through spinal mobility, especially a lot through the lower back. So you reach up, you're going to curl your chin to your chest, keep your hands close to your legs. You're going to round your spine, and you're going to go very slowly and reach down. Try to touch your toes, keep your legs as straight as you can. Slight knee bend is okay, but you really want to try to keep your legs straight. Come up, extend through the spine, reach up, breathe. Again, come down nice and slowly, curl the chin, keep the hands close to the sides. Reach as far as you're comfortable with. Don't hurt yourself. Do not go fast with this motion. Go nice and slow. If you feel any pain or any strain, back off. Don't go as low, or just stop altogether. Again, if you move nice and slowly with this and you breathe, you should be fine. Again, just don't force any position. Curl down, round the spine. Come up, keep the spine rounded, flatten it out, reach up, extend, and breathe. Okay, this next one is a deep squat with a hamstring stretch. So what I'm doing is I'm actually elevating my heels, which gives a little bit of a modification, helps me get into the deep squat a little better. If you can't do this on flat ground by keeping your heels down, go ahead and elevate your heels on a mat, a plate, a weight plate, something like that, a phone book, a wedge. Many people can't get into this deep squat on flat ground, so elevation of the heels is fine. Here I'm going to show it on flat ground. So again, I'm going to drop down in the deep squat. Elbows are in between the legs. I'm going to put my hands on the ground. I'm going to completely straighten out my legs, and I'm going to sit back into that deep squat. So here I'm opening the hips. Here I'm straightening the legs, stretching the hamstrings and the lower back, breathing, sitting back through, opening the hips, extending the spine, trying to flatten out my back and breathe. All of these go very slowly with. Make sure you're breathing. There's no pain involved. If there is, shorten the range of motion or don't do as many reps.